living, breathing, statistical impossibility. I've never seen a team this bad.
You know what that sound means?
You hear it every week.
Time for the Every FFF podcast. I'm Curtis.
I'm Carl. I also just found a Vibra-Slap and realized we never used it.
It's my Vibra-Slap.
Ooh,
I
it's
bought
very
it
good. I like
bought
it
it for our band Mage Hand.
Hell yeah. I love a good Vibra-Slap.
Oh, love a good vibe. Carl's just sitting over there vibing.
Vibrant.
Vibra-Slap is Curse's limit break.
Yeah. It took us this long to reach 1, so I'm never going to get limit level 2 at this rate. How are you boys doing today?
Good. Who's this over here? I don't know if he said his name.
I'm Alex. I said so.
Oh, okay. I was too busy
Well, if you're Alex, why did you say your name was so? Did you see? Because he said so. So we missed a scene last week.
We made a grave error. Well, it was a long episode, so it's fine.
Yeah. It was very hot here, too. Today it's not as hot.
Yo, it is nice.
It's nice. It's a solid nice.
It's a solid nice right now. Actually, it's probably hotter than 69
It's a little,
degrees.
it's a little hotter than 69, I was going to say.
But yeah, Alex messaged the Discord after we recorded, and he was like, "Oh, did we talk about this scene?" And I was like, "I had no fucking clue this scene happened. I didn't even get it."
So this scene, I think you have to trigger it before like going up the steps to talk to like eavesdrop on Waka and Lulu.
You see, I never put anything between me and talking to Lulu.
Yeah, exactly.
It's basically, when you come up the stairs from the
below deck, yeah.
if you go to Waka, if you go listen on Waka and Lulu first, you won't get this.
Yeah, but you can see in the distance if you go in that direction of the ship.
I guess it's
that,
like near camera.
Yeah, like
go to the end of the ship that
Yuna's at.
That Leonardo DiCaprio and Kate Winslet are usually standing on with their arms outstretched.
No, it's the other way.
Sure.
Weren't they on the front of the boat? Anyway, sorry.
I thought they were on the front. I don't know. Anyway, you see Yuna surrounded by the goers, and like Titus just kind of walks up and it just triggers a cutscene, and he's just like, "Hey, what are you guys all talking about?" And Bixen, who's the red-haired the red-haired one, he says,
Who are you supposed to be? I remember him. Guy from Kilika.
and they kind of just go on, and Grav says, one of the Besaid Aurochs said something about winning the cup, and then
right, you're that idiot.
It's so good. And then Yuna just like chimes in. She's like, "Don't call him that."
Yeah, Tifa.
And
sorry, I'm thinking about like what this word could have been.
Oh
yeah. Luckily, they've grown since Final Fantasy VII. But Bixen says, "But he is an idiot. They don't got what it takes to win the cup."
Well, they do now that I'm here.
Yes, they will win. He used to be the star player of the Xanarkand Abes.
And then like
they're all like snickering.
The
and
goers are like
what?
laughing. Yeah, like you don't really see it in their face because they're the lower poly models, but they're
their mouths barely
they're animated as if they were laughing. And Grav says, "Yeah, as if someone lived in those ruins." And like Yuna just like will not let it go. She's like, "It's not ruins. There's a big city there. There is." And then like Titus like sees this all unfolding, and he's
like, "I gotta get us out of here."
He goes to the old standby. He goes, I got too close to sin," and then like Yuna's just like, "There is a city, really." And like the goers just kind of like defeatedly are just like, "Right, whatever your ladyship says," and like they just walk away.
Yeah.
Because they're like, I'm not going to argue with the fucking summoner, but like, she's dumb.
So at the risk of making this go too long or whatever,
sure.
I think the one real big thing that I took away from this conversation was, I guess nobody's been to Xanarkand.
Yeah.
Everyone thinks it's ruins. There's nothing there.
Right. But like, Yuna's like, "Oh, there is a big city," and I'm like, "Oh, I guess she hasn't been there." And I guess none of these people have been there. They just have heard.
Yeah,
that
they just heard
ruins.
stories and heard that it's ruined.
Yeah, which makes sense. I guess we get toward it. It is blocked off by many a dangerous thing, so I guess it makes sense that nobody's been there.
But if you talk to Yuna after this, there's kind of they have another conversation, which just seemed like, "Hey, what's wrong? You seem kind of mad back there." And then Yuna's just like, "They were being rude, and I do believe your Xanarkand exists. I really do,
Yeah, and she says that she would love to go there.
Like it'd be great to go to your home someday.
She also says that Sir Jack had told her about it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but then like
There's a voiceover.
It's really good. The screen just goes black after she's like, "I'd love to go there someday," and he says,
So, Yuna, want to come over to my place? Right. Sure. As if I had a place to show her.
Well,
"Yeah," like classic shitty Titus.
I'm a shower, not a goer.
but we are done with the boat. It's time to dock in Luca, baby.
Oh yeah,
And we get a really good cutscene here.
it's really nice. It has like 4 seconds of like really beautiful CGI. And
Oh,
then,
yeah,
and
so
then it
we're-
just goes right into like the in-game models and
No,
stuff.
it's got like a good
30 seconds. It's a lot of really gorgeous establishing shots, seeing like.
Yeah.
So
it's a little bit better.
So we see the Winnow approaching Luca, and Titus is on the end of the ship looking just in awe at how busy and huge this city is.
Yeah, it's real
Yeah.
big.
Get a good look at it because it will not look this busy in any other scene.
Yeah. When they actually have to render the models in real time.
Sin, is that you?
There's all kinds of boats that are docking here.
It's gorgeous.
The area that we're docking in is pretty cool too. We see like a giant sphere, which looks like a Blitzball arena that
Yeah.
we saw from Xanarkand.
Which people
With-
learn is called the play pool or something like that. I forget.
The kiddie pool.
The
Yeah.
tutorial. We'll talk about it next week in the
Okay.
tutorial. We'll talk about it.
But there's like several docks protruding from the stadium as well, and that's where we're docking at. But it's really cool. Like they're kind of like
It has a
starfished out. You know what I mean? The
I
dock.
honestly got some weird Game of Thrones vibes of just like all the ships coming into like King's Landing, like this really big, bustling, huge.
Yeah.
There's lots
yeah.
of
I
there's
can see
lots
that.
lots of cultures coming together. You see flags and different boats.
Yeah, you can see
Yep.
like windmills like off in the distance, very like cyberpunky looking. It's beautiful. It definitely made me think of like Star Wars, like prequels. Like,
Yeah, that's
heavily
it.
CGI, but like looks pretty good.
Yeah,
I mean,
I feel like
this
that
looks
too.
really, really good. Even like,
Oh yeah.
And as we see these really good fucking scenes, speaking of Star Wars, it reminds
The voiceovers.
it's not Greg Proops, but
Oh, now I'm gonna look
he
it
did
up.
the announcer.
I think I do know who one of the announcers is.
Really? I just
I'm
know
pretty
that
sure-
during the pod races, that's who announced the pod races. And it reminds me of the two-headed dude who was doing the
Yeah.
fucking pod race thing.
I can't remember if it's Baba or the other guys.
Yeah.
I forget the other announcer's name. I think it's Baba, but
Baba is you.
I looked it up and I couldn't find a credit for it, but it sounds exactly like Tom Kenny, like
Yeah.
the voice of SpongeBob, which is funny because I made that joke earlier.
city
But
of-
he is actually in this and has credits in this, just not
Oh, wow.
for this specific part. So I
Oh.
wonder if he has like a bigger role later on. But like, yeah, like,
or just a lot of fill-in minor parts.
Yeah, exactly,
But I was
like-
definitely this is definitely Tom Kenny. He's like
The city of Townsville.
or the announcer in all of Dave and Mr. Show.
oh yeah, yeah,
He's
yeah.
he's always there.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Or just in the one Tim and Eric episode in the first season where they have their 50-year anniversary, and he's just like the MC and talking like in his normal voice.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's great.
But yeah, so there's the little voiceover here happens from some announcers, and they're like commentating this, like it's like the pregame
Yeah.
of like the Super Bowl or
They're
something. right?
they're amping everyone up. It's the
Yeah.
pre-show. Everyone's excited.
Yeah, right, yeah. And he's like, "Oh, it's a beautiful day out there." You know, it's like John Madden. He's like,
Everyone here is to see some Blitzball. Yeah.
Well, just like the first scene when we like the voiceovers, like a lot of just exposition within one line of
Yeah.
like announcement. Like anyway, the big thing is today. Like
yeah, right.
Yeah. And kind of, it's funny too because
unbelievable, ladies and gentlemen. The day we've all been waiting for, the opening tournament of the season. This event is sponsored by Yevon, and this year we celebrate Maester Mika's 50th year in office.
Sponsored by Yevon.
Yeah, just like
the
that shit.
fuck does that mean?
funded by Yevon, sponsored by Yevon, like
Also, the announcers are named Baba and Jimma.
yeah.
Not Bob and Jim.
Yeah, I know. Baba and Jim.
They're like make it sound a little more,
Carla,
Final
Alexa,
Fantasy.
and Curtisa.
Keep
He's announcing the different groups.
All the way from Killica, it's the Killica Beasts. High Summoner O'Holland used to play for them. A big name to live up to.
Yeah, they're gonna be the one to, like they're gonna be hard to beat.
Yeah, and
And they have a reputation to live up to because of Summoner O'Holland.
Yep.
Oh, they also say their hometown was recently attacked by Sin. Isn't that right, Jimma? They're not offering no
That's right,
condolence.
Baba. They're going to be pulling out all the stops this year to try to bring the cup back.
They're like, have no sympathy. Like, oh, it just seems like an everyday thing.
I guess it is.
Yeah, but to me, it kind of read like, and we don't have to keep this in the podcast because it's a little insensitive, but like, to me, this read as if like
it was a forecast.
Like no, like the next week or 2 weeks, like when the MLB started up, they're like, oh yes, the New York Yankees are playing. They're like
They
capital
all
was
have
just attacked.
coronavirus.
They were just attacked on 9/11. Like let's get to the game.
Oh
You
yeah,
know,
yeah.
Like
Let's
Right,
hope they
right.
bounce back this week. in this
yeah,
game.
like Jesus.
I like that when the Aurochs show up, they're like, well, if it isn't the Aurochs, a living, breathing, statistical impossibility. I've never seen a team this bad.
Yeah.
That's right. In 23 years, they've never made it past the first round.
And
We've established, I don't think these characters are even 23 years old, which means that they are
generationally terrible.
They're generationally terrible. They're like continuing a legacy of not winning. I love the Aurochs so much. God damn it, I love them
Hell
so
yeah,
much.
they're the only good team.
And I like
Last place is big shoes to fill.
Yeah, and like when they're announcing them, like Titus just walks up and like fist pumps. He's like, "Yeah, we're gonna get it."
I really like there's a shot of the crowd and there's like 5 people who look like one guy's like kind of pumped up, another guy just has his hands on his head,
like
and
he's
everyone
freaking
looks
out.
like upset and it says only a few diehard fans are in the audience today. Best of luck to them and a safe journey back to Besaid.
The guy holding his head looks like he's losing a bet. Like, God,
Yeah,
like
he's
that-
like, "Oh no."
why did I bet on these guys?
It's like that one sports fan, I forget for what team it was, but he would just show up to games and have a paper bag over his head while wearing the team's jersey because they were so bad that he's like, I don't want to show my face, but I do want to support my team. There's like something weirdly admirable about that.
Anonymous
amazing.
support. We're all counting on you.
And then, of course, and this seems, I guess, I don't know. I don't watch enough live sports events to like know if this is normal, but like the announcers, as soon as they get to the Luca goers, they're like, "The Luca goers, the best team ever."
They've got power, they've got speed, they've got teamwork.
Well, they're the home team,
They're-
so
They are the
so
home
these
team.
are these are the home stadium announcers, and that it definitely happens when you watch sports, and it's
Okay.
insufferable as a Philadelphia fan when everyone else in the fucking world hates your team, and if like you happen to only be able to catch like an away game where all like they're like, oh, and the Flyers just narrowly managed to get a goal, and you're like, motherfucker, like that was an incredibly impressive goal. What are you talking about?
I like that he says it would take a miracle for them to lose today. Fuck you.
Yeah.
It looks like all of Luca turned out to cheer the goers on, and like you were saying, Alex, there's like 5 people standing around because they could only render so many characters.
it's the same
on
amount of
screen.
people that were there for the Aurochs.
I know.
You can say that again, Jimma. Look at the crowd, folks. Look at the crowd.
Yeah,
This
like,
was-
they just have to tell you because you can't see it.
This was before Dead Rising had mastered the ability to render like a shit ton of characters on screen
Right.
at once. And
When
they're
this was
like,
on Switch, there was like one guy there. Or no, when it was on the Wii. That's right. Dead Rising was for the Wii, and there was like half as many.
oh my god, that's so sad.
That's amazing.
What's up, guys? Featuring a zombie.
Like, so like the Aurochs are standing there on that dock too, while the goers are coming up onto the dock.
And they're all just like
They look
they're
like-
hiding behind like crates.
They're
and this
hiding
kid-
behind crates.
Yeah,
and they
they're
look all
sheepish. Like Waka has the anime hand behind his head. He's a
Yeah,
little
yeah.
embarrassed, and Titus is like, "Yo, fuck this shit."
Waka says, "It's like this every year, yeah? Don't let it bother you." And fucking Titus from nowhere grabs a megaphone and he like jumps up on some boxes and he goes, "Stop right there, goers."
You guys are smiling now, but not for long. Because this year, us Aurochs are taking the cup.
It's so good too because when he does that, like it's a very cinematic shot, like showing the megaphone
Yeah.
from like and like Titus like pointing.
Also, this is our first time seeing like technology since we got to
Yeah.
Spira. So actually, all
Yeah.
the technology looks like it's from like Skyward Sword or something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
for
looks all
sure.
kind of very.
It's
ornate.
not like it's not Machina, but it's like
we'll see like cameramen who do holding cameras look very Machina, like very ancient Machina.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But it's so funny too because it cuts over to like the Luca goers and they like because of just how the character models are like rendered in cutscenes and they're very rigid and stuff. They just turn around and look and like gasp a little bit and like it's like everyone else just like
Yeah.
And Waka's in the background just totally embarrassed. He's just
Yeah,
like
he's so
shaking his head like,
embarrassed.
no.
He literally, as soon as Titus gets down, he says,
What in Yevon's name were you doing up there?
Yeah, and he grabs him, and the way he like delivers that line is he's like, "You're embarrassing, but like that kind of ruled, and I'm happy that you did it." Because normally they just be like, "Oh, okay, don't stay under the radar."
Don't
Everyone's
embarrass
gonna
me
make
in front of
fun us."
don't embarrass me in front of family, but in front of the goers, go for it.
Yeah. But Dotto literally says, "Oh, we sure stood out though." And Letty's like, "Oh, we were on the sphere." And have we talked about being on the sphere?
Is that like
Yeah, we talked about
television?
the sphere grid. No, I'm just kidding.
So apparently in this world, just fucking everything is spheres, and like they display things on a sphere. And when you record things, you record them to a sphere.
Yeah.
I guess it's to make in-universe sense of the sphere grid is the purpose, I suppose.
Yeah.
Everything's in balls.
It's
Everything's in balls.
It's
in this
one
world.
of it's one of the things where I was just like, suspension of disbelief. I get it. They were on the big screen. They were on the Titantron. They were on the sphere.
Yeah.
It's like I
exactly.
forget what the internet is called in like Star Wars or something like that. Like I don't know.
The worldwide net.
But then we hear some of the crowd saying, "Oh, Maester Mika is here."
Yeah.
And so everybody kind of like,
Cool DJ name.
Yeah. Did DJ Maester Mike, Grand Maester Micah. And they say, "Oh, it's at the number 3 dock." And Titus is like, "Oh, what's up now?" And Yuna kind of describes, "Oh, Maester Micah, he's the leader of all the people in Spira." Lulu says he's come all the way from Bavel. The tournament is being held to honor his 50 years as a maester.
Yeah.
And I like Titus just goes, 50 years? He should be retired by now.
He's not a sports player, dude.
Yeah.
And he didn't blow his knees out by praying to Yevon. But Waka's like, hey. Waka's just like, hey, mind your mouth now. Like always like chiming in being like, hey, quit being fucking blasphemous around me, goddammit. Yuna's like, hey, we should all go and see him.
Yep.
And then we finally have control over our character again.
We do. And we can run around. Now, we can run right to the... Actually, well, right now, we can't really do too much. We can talk to the people who are on the dock. But
There's some areas that are closed off for now, just so we don't get lost.
Yeah, and there's just kind of like random people talking about like, the little flavor text about the Blitzball tournament and what teams they like and stuff. I don't think there was anything particularly...
Somebody says the idea that...
one of our fans is there.
Yeah.
Man, this tournament is going to rock. Even the big man is here to see the game.
Big man. The Pope. The Pope came out.
Sailor in Blue said, I'm glad I got here safely. Don't want another SS Leaky incident.
Yeah. Somebody says, like, Besaid Oryx win the cup. Now that's funny.
Yeah.
Now that's comedy.
Yeah, and I think that's just like a dialogue that you can talk to the two NPCs standing there, like back and forth, and they're like, I'm on like the, the Ronso team, like, I like the Beasts or whatever.
Right.
But there is a guy who has an in-universe, explanation for why we just saw all of these people and now we don't. And he's just blocking off the stadium and he says, we have sealed off all access to the stadium for the time being. We're trying to control the mad rush of people who have already entered the stadium. So it's like, oh, okay.
So the only other thing we can do is go to dock number 3.
Yeah.
And it's the next one over, so...
We're going to go greet Micah.
Micah. Hey, Micah.
Hatsune Micah.
But yeah, so there's like, and in this scene, there actually is a lot of people standing around, like PS2, a lot of people. There's probably like 11 of them.
Yeah.
So it's a lot.
As many people as there are Final Fantasies.
But Titus is all in the back, and he's like, "Oh, I can't see a thing," and then we start hearing some music, like some like, "Ooh, here he comes."
Oh, and we see some non-humans for the first time.
Yeah, we see the...
Well, I guess not counting Ronso, but...
We see the Chuck E. Cheese band is here.
To be able to play music in this world means that you are inhuman, because like these people, like, I guess they're not like attached to their instruments. It's hard to tell where the instruments begin and they end sometimes.
Yeah, for sure. Like there's like a tall
Birdman.
Yeah.
Playing harp
from like as if like if Stevie Nicks like had the flowy like like sleeves and everything, but that had strings on it and you could play it like a harp.
It's exactly what it is. Yeah. I like the big dude with the drums.
Yeah, he's really good. He's got like giant tambourines or
God, what the fuck is that called?
Oh God, I should know this because of how long I worked in the world.
A bodhran.
A bodhran.
Not pauldron.
Not a podron. No, but not pauldron. A bodhran. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but anyway.
Yeah.
So he is as one of those attached to his tum.
And then there is a hornist of sorts.
And there's like
They're clearly a ska band.
Yeah.
They have 2 horns.
Yeah, there's like a I almost call her like a small marsupial girl, I guess, or something like that.
Yeah.
And she has she's playing a horn that I guess goes down underneath her
It's like
and
a
then
tuba.
back up the back.
It's like a tuba that. Oh yeah, I didn't even see the thing. I just saw like the front of it, and I thought it was like a tuba / didgeridoo.
Yeah, but
combined into one. But yeah,
like,
there's like a horn behind her. It's very Dr.
It's two
Seuss.
of them. There's two of them, and
Yeah.
so I guess like it splits
There's two
out.
of each, yeah.
She can play it in stereo. Like,
That's cool.
She puts just a slight panning on it.
These
to
are
give
the
it
cheap
space.
ones though, so they only play mono.
But we do hear the Faith theme kind of play in a much more like grandiose.
Yeah, right.
The womp, 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 womp kind of thing.
And then speaking of epic V-necks, the first person to walk off this boat has the V-neck to end all V-necks.
Yeah, for sure.
Like,
And the hairstyle to end all.
imagine
hairstyles.
that you started your V-neck down at your groin, and then it went all the way up to your shoulders, and then continued
didn't-
past your shoulders
Yeah.
for like a good foot or two.
into a popped collar.
Into
The
the
ultimate
most,
Chad.
yeah, the most popped a collar could ever be.
Has hair that doesn't at all look like villainous of the Final Fantasy
no.
season.
Yeah,
like,
and the way they present this character, like showing them like menacingly
menacing looking face with like weird like not like tattoos or like veins like coming from
right.
the forehead down past their
That
eyes.
meme of the kid with his like
You remember like Sephiroth's little hair antenna that he has
Yeah.
up front? Imagine that was the main thing of his hair, and it's just everywhere. It's in the back and
so
on the
there's,
sides.
There's
and-
the front ones that are sticking out in a way that doesn't look believable, and then in an even worse way, there's two on the side that like go out and then have like horns and also continue down.
yeah.
It's like if you cut his head off, it would still be able to walk around.
Yeah, they right, John Carpenter.
It's like this guy went to the hairdresser and just showed a picture of a tribal tattoo, and he was like, "Yo, just fuck me up with that shit."
Yeah, but he's got he's like really ornate robes on.
Like because of how much of his chest is shown, it looks like he almost has like burns or some sort of like
Yeah, there's
distortion
some-
on his around his like where his gut starts.
It's like below his pecs where he has like actual tribal tattoos. It looks like, and then
Yo,
like,
I really thought that was his chest hair.
It
I
could
thought
be.
it was
It
just
could be like ab hair, or like I think later on when we get like a little closer of a look at it, I thought it was more like weird like scars or something. But it could be chest hair. Who knows?
Anyway,
Yeah.
Although we did talk
nobody
a lot
else in
about.
this entire game has chest hair, so I
Right.
guess it would be weird for him. To
he got
Yeah,
burned off.
yeah.
Didn't we talk about that on the episode with Mark about like the hairless people in this game or whatever?
the hairless people of Final Fantasy X. But yeah, he has like these like actually I kind of like his robes. I think they're pretty dope.
Oh, I also just noticed that he's got like very long, like claw-like fingernails.
Oh yeah,
and they're painted purple, which is a good look. It
also,
matches his robes.
His arms are like crazy long too. Like,
Yeah.
they're like insane long. And he's got like a cool like
He looks like he's cosplaying as one of the weapons in a way.
he's got like a cool like
Ruby weapon.
satin sash, like for a belt as well.
Yeah,
Yeah,
very decadent.
yeah. It's like a navy blue robe that he's wearing.
Yeah.
Yeah, very decadent. Yeah, and
Anyway,
we see a crowd shot, and they're like, "Oh, that's a Guado, right? Who
Yeah.
could it be? Isn't it Maester Seymour?"
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, we see a picture of his face, and yeah, he turns around and like kneels
And does the prayer thing.
yeah, does the Yevon prayer, and then everybody around does too,
Except
Titus, and then Maester Mika walks off.
imagine
or the
seeing
boat.
that dude walk down and see what he's doing, and everyone else follow suit and be like, "No, you know what? Fuck that guy."
Yeah. But then we see Maester Mika actually come off the ship, and he's like a generic old man. He's
Yeah.
got like a cool beard.
Yeah, his beard kind of looks a little like a small Master Roshi beard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's also wearing like some ceremonial robes that have like the Yevon logo emblazoned on the front.
yeah.
Yeah, not too much to say about him.
You've all played it.
He's got a cool hat.
People of Spira, I thank you for your generous welcome. Rise, Maester Seymour, and all of you as well.
I am Seymour Guado. I am honored to receive the title of Maester.
But
Seymour has a very a normal guy voice.
he has such a normal guy voice.
It's like,
it's wild how
it's-
normal
he would
guy
not
is.
be
It's
out of place.
forgettable because I could not tell you what his voice sounds like at all.
It would not be out of place in the regular show.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, hell
Where it's
yeah.
just like a normal dude voicing him. It's like,
Yeah,
this is not a voice actor.
To me, he sounds like
Yeah, Mordecai, just like
Yeah.
Ham boning.
I think
Camp moaning may seem
Seymour
like-
has a voice that's kind of like a romantic movie, like a Twilight or a The Notebook. If they're trying to be like,
Right.
here's a sensitive, well-off man,
Sure.
and that's kind
pervert.
of a pervert, you might say. But anyway, so Micah introduces this Guado man who's walked off, who we've already named as Seymour, and says he is the son of Maester Jiskel Guado, who departed for the far plane a fortnight past.
Yeah.
Oh,
Fortnite.
that's a fancy way of saying he died 2 weeks ago.
He died 2 weeks ago, baby.
By playing Fortnite.
As some of
He's
you already...
flossed, he's danced his last
He's
floss.
flossed his last floss. As some of you already know, he has already been officially ordained a Maester of Yevon. And then Seymour says, I'm Seymour Guado. I'm honored to receive the title of Maester. In life, my father Jiskel worked to foster friendship between man and Guado.
I vow to carry on his legacy and to fulfill my duties as Maester to the best of my abilities.
So he says between man and Guado. Does that mean he's not of man?
I was going to say, so...
Is he an alien?
Yeah, so Guado are not humans.
He's an ancient.
Yeah, but like, Guado are very human-like. Does that make sense?
Sure.
Like they're presented as two different races of people, but they're just like, what if they were humans but they had wild spiky blue hair? What if they had the hair?
What if we could make this stupid Nomura designed hair
Yeah,
make
yeah.
sense?
Well, I was like, what if we just took the same number of polygons from the FF7 hair styles and just put them in FF10? We'll just call that a race of people. It'd be fine. But yeah, everybody bows except for Titus, and like Waka grabs him and forces him down.
Yeah,
and
he
he's
says,
like,
"You
"You
too."
too." Yeah, and then because like no foreshadowing or anything, we
A totally normal scene here.
we had a totally normal scene. We see Seymour sees Yuna in the crowd and just like has the most evil fucking look you could possibly have on your face. He like seethes. He's like, "Ugh,
Yeah.
like a fucking monster. And then Yuna even like is like obviously very uncomfortable because he's like, oh shit, he's looking right at me and looks like he's getting ready to jump into the crowd and just like kill me.
Yeah, there's also a nice like juxtaposition of like Seymour's eyes, which are like very like beautiful and purple.
Yeah.
And then it like shows Yuna and it shows her like also beautiful eyes, which are like the green one and the blue one. I thought
Yeah.
that was nice where I'm like, beautiful colored eyes.
Yeah. And then I like that like this super intense thing is going on right here. And then Walker just goes, oh, it really psychs you up, doesn't it? he's so stoked about it.
It's like, I love playing in front of the Pope. I'm so excited. The Pope and his bishop or whatever the fuck.
Yeah. Yeah, and then we're prompted to save before the Blitzball game.
Yeah.
He says, last meeting before the big game. Hustle.
Yeah. Y'all save?
Hustle!
I did not save here.
I saved.
I did.
It's completely like inconsequential because there's like a save point again. Like there's like
Yeah,
two more before anything.
There's literally one in the room that we're going in.
Yeah, I was like, huh. I didn't even realize that. I was like, shit, I probably should have saved there.
Yeah, Spear of Pope and his creepy bishop? Is that
Yeah, I
Cardinal?
guess.
Cardinal? Yeah.
Seymour is a funny name. It's always a funny name.
You know what else is a funny name?
Seymour!
Jizzkle.
Seymour! The spear is on fire!
No, mother,
That's
it's just
far
Sin's
plane.
toxins.
Oh, yeah! Yeah, but we're gonna do some b-ball.
Yeah, we're gonna play
Is that
some
what we're doing?
b-ball.
We're gonna go b-balling.
Yeah, we're in the
that what-
locker room. Should we retire to our locker room?
Let's
and
locker room.
Should we hit the
let's
showers?
locker room after this scene so we can do the next scene.
Sure.
I'll do it.
Okay, we're gonna hit the showers after we're.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so when we are done with the save point and we're back into playing, Titus is walking into the Oryx locker room, and the whole team, with the exception of Waka, is sitting around.
Looking real down on themselves.
They look real down, and they look at Titus like, oh, and they think it's like Waka, and they see it's him, and they're like, oh, never mind, who cares? And Titus says, where's Waka? Dotto says, at the matchup draws. We had to play the Goers in the first match last year.
And then Josu says, the year before that and the one before that too. And keep
Which
us,
is
like,
kind of fucked up because,
Yeah.
like, I believe when you're actually seeding tournaments, like at least in fighting game tournaments, they very purposefully pick where the different people are going to go. Like, you wouldn't go against the exact same person every year. If you were the worst person, you wouldn't fight the best one every year.
I think it depends, and I'm pretty sure it's been a couple of years since I was able to like follow hockey, but I know that like when the playoffs happen, whatever division you're in, if you're at like throughout the whole season, you accumulate points, and if you're at the first seed, then you play the person who is at the bottom of the seed, and you get like home field advantage. And like each one, so it does kind of make sense that if they are the worst team, they would play the best team.
Oh, maybe so.
And it's kind of like because it's like okay, well, we want to make sure that these people who like. They played the best throughout the season. They need to have some kind of like reasoning for that instead of just being like hit this threshold and you're in the playoffs. So
I guess that's what like my thing is that like I'm assuming that there's not a season before this.
Yeah,
because they're holding this tournament to celebrate Maester Micah's 50th year as fucking fantasy pope.
Yeah, so like what they're just going by last year's stats? Like that's kind of
yeah, that's what I was kind of wondering. Like this is kind of an odd setup. But yeah, Waka comes in and says, we're playing the Al Bhed Sykes first. If we win, we're in the finals.
Hell yeah.
How many teams are in this tournament? Or do they just have like 4 buys and then they get to fight one and go to the tournament?
Right, there are Al Bhed here. We get to see them again.
Yeah, so that's the Aurochs, the Al Bhed, the Kilika Beasts, the Luca Goers, and I think there's also a Ronso
There's
team.
a Ronso team, yeah.
Right.
And you only have to win 2 matches, so I guess it's like a tournament thing and there might be like a loser's bracket or something.
I guess, man. I don't know.
I think I'm thinking too deeply.
It seems real weird to me.
We'll talk more about that next week.
Put it this way, if there were only 4 teams, it makes sense. You'd have like
I think there's 5 or 6.
It's like the Olympics though. There's like winning the silver medal in the Olympics sucks worse than winning the bronze medal, because if you're in the bronze medal like tournament or like game, like you have to win in order to get that. But to get the silver medal, you have to lose to the gold team.
That didn't make any sense to me. I'm sorry.
That's quite all right.
But he says, that's right. We got seeded, which I'm sorry. I know I got to stop us every single time we said something, but like, of course you got seeded, right?
Yeah, like that.
There's only like 4 or 5 teams.
Yeah, you made the trip here. There's not really too many teams. Like, everyone was talking about you and how they're going to laugh at you when you lose.
Yeah. And so to be like, we're allowed to play.
Yeah.
Like, if I was
the
Titus,
cast list is out.
If I was Titus, I'd be like, wait, you fucking drug me all the way out here and you didn't even know that we were going to be able to play this year? But he says, first things first, let's go over the basics. And you know what a good way to fucking drop a tutorial on a player is just to
gigantic fucking menu.
Give them a gigantic fucking menu.
They basically threw the book at you.
With like 15 different options that you have to go through.
Yeah.
And be like, here, fucking read it. And like,
I mean, that's probably how. Well, I mean, no, actually, Titus would know plenty of how to play all this.
Yeah. He
but this is like
already.
But they basically just hand us a fucking handbook.
Yeah,
which we will go over later.
Yeah,
it's not important right now.
It's not. Yeah. So here's what I think we're gonna do: is we're gonna actually talk about the tutorial next episode. So even though it happens right here,
the Blitzball episode.
Yeah, right. So we'll talk about it then and how to play and all that stuff. But basically, like they teach you how to play Blitzball here, and it's kind of deep in the way that like there's a lot going on here.
They basically combined a sports game with a JRPG.
Yeah, or like a card game.
Yeah, I feel like this could be an entire like PS1 sports game.
Yeah, or like a
tabletop,
a PSP like game, like the Star Wars Pod Racer. Like,
yeah. Like there's enough to it that it could be its own game. It's pretty cool.
It seems pretty complex and pretty interesting.
Yeah, they could probably make a whole tabletop game out of this and work really well with dice rolls and stuff.
Yeah, like I was kind of like looking into it and stuff like when I was going through the tutorial, and I was like, okay, I fucking hate this because of how just much of an info dump it is. And I was like, but if I look at it as if I'm just trying to learn triple triad and I think of it in that way, maybe I'll enjoy it more.
Well, here's how I thought about it.
Because there's no narrative way for it to like slowly introduce parts of the game. You either know the game or don't.
This is the fucking thing, right? Okay, hold on. I wanted to talk about this. If you were going to drop just a fucking mass of information on me all at once, right? To be like, fucking memorize this. You're in the championships. Fucking time to sum up all the knowledge you've earned along the way, which is none. We've never played a game of Blitzball.
We've heard nothing but everything revolving around this fucking thing.
And
they really should have like taught us this in the first scene, and like here's how you play the game, and now go play the game before Syntax. Like,
like give
or
us
at least
like
a small like abbreviated version of
give us a couple games to play, or if you're gonna fucking info dump us right before the fucking tournament, info dump us before the tournament.
Yeah.
Don't give us an info dump and then be like, by the way, here's like a whole another hour and a half of game to play before you even get to go play Blitzball.
Yeah.
I hope you remember everything from before, dumbass.
Yeah, and it's like also, I don't know how much the Jek shot will like come back to it with like the practice that we did to learn that move. But I'm
yeah.
like, hopefully that thing that you did.
Let's talk about that too.
An hour
Guess
before
what?
that,
We've
like,
clearly learned the Jek shot. Titus doesn't start with the Jek shot.
God fucking damn it.
This is awful. Oh my god, I'll do my screaming next episode. Oh boy. Anyway, the only thing I want to point out as I look through the tutorials is that there was one text box that says, "It seems confusing, but it's actually simple."
Oh,
and
I saw that. I was like,
"Go fuck yourself." You're like, Blitzball, eat my ass. You suck.
To understand Blitzball, you need to have a very large IQ to get the subtleties.
Yeah,
and
right.
to understand the jokes.
So you just joined a jazz band for the first time. They're about to play Carnegie Hall, and they just threw the real book at you.
Yeah, man.
It was like, fucking learn it.
Learn it. We got 10 minutes. It's fine. Yeah. Fuck. All right. Now, do you want to retire to the locker rooms?
Yeah.
I'm so fucking angry. Come back afterwards.
Let's go to break.
All right.
Here comes the break.
Oh.
Blitzball. So we just went over all the Blitzball tutorial.
In the
and
interim.
we never have to talk about it again.
Yeah, in the interim, we talked about it.
No way Apple Podcasts will let us run that dialogue again. Not in a million years.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Anyway, I like that, like, after the tutorial's over, literally it shows Titus sitting on the bench going like,
Yeah, he's like huffing and puffing,
Yeah.
like being very dramatic.
mood. But
He
then
yawns really big too.
yeah. And then Yuna and Lulu come in, and Yuna's like, "There you are. Someone said they saw Sir Orin in a cafe. Oh, Orin, that bastard.
That slippery bastard.
That slippery bastard.
Yeah, and
Thought we forgot about him."
If it weren't for him, I wouldn't be in this mess.
yeah. And Titus is like, Orin, and Yuna's like, yeah, Sir Orin, let's go find him. And she like turns around and walks out of the room.
Yeah, like Waka's like,
Titus follows after her, and Waka's like, dude.
He literally says,
Hey! The game starts like real soon.
"Hey,
Hey. Yeah, the game's starting real soon. Like, he's like, yeah, like, come back quick. Like, if you're going to do this, like, hurry up. Like, the game is about to start.
yeah." And then like Titus is like, "Hey, it's cool. I'll be back." And he goes, "All right, okay." And then he's like, "Oh, hey, Waka." And like, Waka looks really like not disheveled, but he's like slouching and stressed.
Yeah,
and Titus
he's
is
definitely
like
stressed.
He's trying to like chill him out. So he's like, "Hey, calm down, Waka." And he goes, "No, it's not just your face. Like, stand up, relax. You know." He just breathe out like this. Just breathe. And Waka's like grabbing his face and his stomach, and he's like freaking out.
Yeah, he's
so
geeking out.
nervous.
He's very nervous. He's got the stage fright.
Dude, you have
Butterflies in his tummy.
And I'd be like, Waka, there's no stakes. You've never won a game.
Yeah, exactly. The only thing that you can do is do everything that everyone expects of you, or fucking blow everyone's fucking mind.
Yeah.
But then like, it's funny too, because it shows like I think Yuna is kind of like giggling to herself about this interaction.
Yeah.
And Lulu just puts her hand to her head and
Yeah,
is just
I know.
like face palming,
I know.
shaking her head.
Waka's good. Yuna says, "Maybe now we can find Sir Jekt." And Titus is like, how? And Yuna says, "Sir Orin was also my father's guardian, so he might know where Sir Jekt is." That's cool. That's a
new
cool
information.
development.
Yeah.
Which maybe makes some sense that Orin was in our world or time or whatever the fuck you want to call it from earlier. They're like, oh yeah, okay. So if Jekt is from there too, it would make sense that maybe Sir Orin could be there.
Yeah.
Because we never really established what the relationship is between Orin and Titus.
Yeah.
He
Almost
just
like a godfather figure, maybe?
Seems like a cool uncle.
Yeah, he's just like a cool uncle who was just there for whatever reason. But
Started
now
hanging out with my mom a lot.
Professor Oaktum. In narration, Titus says, it didn't even occur to me to think that the Orin Yuna was talking about and the one that I knew from Xanarkin could be two different people. I don't know why, but I knew it was the same guy. I knew it was the same Orin.
Yeah, I like how immediately, like when he was like, Jekt, who can do the Blitzball move, that could be any Jekt. And then he's like, I don't know why, but I just knew in my heart that it was actually Orin.
Yeah, actually Orin, right, yeah.
He doesn't have an Orin shot.
Orin's my real dad.
Orin may as well be.
Yeah, seriously.
I walked back into the locker room and talked to some people. And there's not like too much crazy to talk about here.
I do like that Jasu is like, I know we only need to win twice, but that's the problem.
And then outside, we run into, or in the hallway going to the locker room, there are two Albed.
Mm-hmm.
And Yuna walks by them, and we hear them talking in Albed to each other.
Yeah.
Right.
Imito sumana. Vasikna bund.
How much can you guys see from, like, how many letters you got of this?
Most of them, it's just like A, then like blank summoner, and it says M-A-D-O, and A and D are the ones that we have.
Should I say what it says?
A something summoner, yeah.
Okay. So what they're saying to each other is, a lady summoner. The other one says, we must report.
Yeah, the other one we have no information about.
Okay.
But
We did hear them say summoner, something.
yeah,
summoner.
we definitely heard summoner. I think summoner is just a word that like probably exists in all languages because we don't have enough letters to like translate that, but it's like
That's why
it's translated.
For this whole season, y'all gotta watch out for where the primers are, because I already got them all, so I don't see them on my game.
Yeah. I haven't found any in a couple episodes, and I'm like,
there was one on the winnow
We missed
that we
it.
missed talking about.
oh, did we?
Yeah, it was like right behind the captain. I
Oh
think.
shit.
Yeah.
Play that whole section again, Carl. No.
Well, real quick tangent. I was gonna go back and replay the cloister, but I have so many save files because like anytime I see a sphere grid, I'm like, oh, I might as well save here just in case. And I kept going back and being like, oh no, this is after I already did the cloisters. Let me go back again. Oh no, this is already after I did the cloisters, so I still did. So I kept riding the elevator down and going and not being able to get there and being like, God damn it. So I finally went back and I was like, okay, this is definitely before the cloister. I know it. And I like walked in and it was right before the boss fight, and I was just like, I'm just gonna leave it.
Nice.
But Titus walks up to them. He doesn't know what they said or anything like that, and says, "Oh, hey, you're the Albed Sykes, right?"
Some Albed saved me the other day, and this girl Riku gave me food, and you don't understand me, do you?
Because they're just looking at him like blank face. And he says, anyway, if you meet Riku, tell her thanks for me. And as for the first game, may the best team win. And they just like,
which is nice.
And they just look at him walk off like they're being like real shifty to him.
Yeah.
Except he's assuming that every Albed knows each other.
Yeah. It's a little problematic.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we're allowed to walk around the stadium.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess actually we're allowed to walk around more than the stadium. We can walk around Luca in general.
Yeah.
But as for now, we're in the stadium. What do you guys think about Luca? You got some text for me? What do you got? What do you got?
I went back and talked to Lulu, and she just said it's crowded out there. Stay close.
Yep.
Yeah.
And Waka is like, I'm counting on you, bud.
Yeah.
There's two Crusaders just kind of like sitting around like outside of the stadium, like the main part of the stadium, and one says, once the tournament is over, the operation will commence. Better enjoy Blitzball while I still can. And
so they got something going on.
Yeah, and the other one says, the Crusaders were in charge of guarding the stadium up until last year. But they're all busy preparing for the operation now. So this year, the citizens have taken up security posts.
I wonder if that has to do with Luzungata being excommunicated.
I think there is some more flavor text around here that goes into that.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can find that. But if there's any other interesting, like I went down this one hallway and we kind of see a lot more like.
I went to the other locker room. Is that what you mean?
So you go down to like where the other hallway is, and we kind of see a lot more different like characters. Like we see like what I would assume is a Ronso.
So there's a lot of locker rooms down here for the different teams. And I like that there's a whole bunch of people who are gathering outside of the goers locker room. And like a bunch of kids are like old people are like, oh, they won't let me in. I want to talk to him or whatever. And some little kid's like, I got to touch Bixen's hand. And like, fuck Bixen. He sucks.
What an asshole.
He's been mean to us the whole time. Which, I mean, I guess like maybe he's nice to his fans.
Yeah, maybe.
You know.
I imagine he would be. He's a dick to the worst team in the league, which you would think like, why even fucking bother, dude?
Yeah, but I mean like, be a dick to us on the sports field, not like when we're walking into a temple to pray for all the fucking fallen souls.
Yeah, it's so weird too because like rivalries are definitely a thing that comes up in sports, and like players will hate each other and stuff like that, and teams will hate each other. But it's like, why do these guys hate like the Oryx so much? Because they're the worst team in the league. Like,
yeah, we don't pose any threat. We just want to have a good time.
We're the underdogs.
There was a season where the Flyers were playing the Winter Classic, which is an outdoor stadium series that happens like on the first of the year every year. It was like a recent thing that kind of started within the past decade. And HBO did a series every year, like the Road to the Winter Classic, where they would just like follow around each team and be in their locker rooms and stuff and mic them up while they're playing. And you would get like an actual documentary style of like what's going on between these two teams in this rivalry and stuff. And there was this one Flyer in the HBO season who was like an older guy, and he was kind of like, he used to be a goon, but then the rules changed, so he couldn't really be as much of an enforcer. So he was just like a big guy who was like the muscle of the team, but couldn't be too much muscle because of how the rules changed. And like one of the players on the New York Rangers said like the most devastating own to him ever. He's like, dude, you're irrelevant. Like, what's your place in the league? Like, you're irrelevant. Who are you? Like, what? Like, and he was just like, he was like, yeah, dude, he's an old hockey player who like doesn't really have a place in the way that hockey teams are structured anymore. That dude was just like, why am I gonna get mad at you, dude? You're irrelevant. I was like, fuck.
Yikes.
Yeah. Like, but like, it's like the same sort of thing. They could be that and just be like, I'm not even gonna bother fighting with you. Like, you're irrelevant. Who cares?
Right.
You have never won a team in your 30 years existence or like won a game. But instead, they're just like, we're gonna be extra shitty about it. Let me see if I can find. I think before we dive back in, when they're talking about the Crusaders and stuff, is that actually like Guzzo and Lada or whatever their name?
No,
is?
it's not them talking about it. It's
Guzzo.
Guzzo and Lada.
Guzzo.
Hey, keep this in the podcast. But I just noticed something. Somebody's toilet paper is sitting right beside me, and has been this entire episode.
Yeah, I was thinking about that.
Yeah, I just didn't notice that there's just a roll of toilet paper beside me.
No, yeah,
just so to to give the listeners like a more immersive look at how we podcast. We just podcast next to people's toilet paper,
and also vibra slaps. Sometimes.
That's right.
Yeah, but if you walk around, like there's different docks and stuff, and like there's a lot of NPCs who will just like point out which direction the docks are in. They're like, dock number 3 is that way. Dock number 1 is that way. Like on every single one, it's like, oh, okay. Gives you a good
dock number 1's that way.
But
I did go walk through all the docks.
So did I. But on one of the docks, there's. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, there's these guys who are like in kind of like knight armor.
Yeah.
And one of them, when you talk to him, he says, "Don't confuse us with the heathen crusaders. Warrior monks are the true defenders of Yevon." And if you kind of go around, there's more people who kind of look like Seymour. So I'm assuming,
Guado.
Yeah, more Guado. And when you talk to them, they say, "Seems like they scaled back on security this year. Hope nothing bad happens." And the other one says, "Lord Seymour will lead the Guado to eternal repose." That dialogue's not very interesting.
Well, it's not that it's not very interesting. I feel like both of those dialogues are very like, now I really don't like Seymour, and also something is absolutely bad going to happen because you said that.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, yeah, what do you mean he's going to lead you to eternal repose? That's kind of weird.
But
That's
I found
not
out
very Sephiroth-y at all.
I found out something about ourselves, though, by walking around on this dock. And by ourselves, I mean at least me and you, Carl.
Yeah.
I don't remember what you said about this in the past, Alex, but one of the Ronso there, it just goes, "Luca's too hot for Ronso." And I was like, oh shit, would I be a Ronso?
Yeah, it makes sense.
I'm too short though. They're all really tall.
I think one of them says something about like the icy plains and stuff, like the icy and frost.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
Yeah.
That's why they're blue. I talked to Owaka and got some stuff.
Yeah, Owaka's here.
He sells presumably really good weapons or really overpriced weapons.
Owaka sells a Thunder Lance for Kamari.
Yeah.
Now he has a lot of things of different prices, and like I said, like in this game, you don't just get new weapons that are just objectively better. You just get ones with different skills, right? So the only thing I bought was that. But gamer advice, gamer warning:
get the Thunder
Get that
Spear.
Thunder Spear for this next battle and some other things that are going to be coming up.
Yeah,
next battles.
I picked up a ball that poisons.
Poison touch is great for late game, especially.
Yeah. I was like, I heard that. I'm like, oh yeah.
Also, he sells the fucking red armlet, which I got to that point.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm glad I didn't go back.
Well,
for that. Although I think it still probably would have been good to complete that cloister.
Okay, yeah. So there's something that you get for completing all the cloisters, And 2 items of the same name don't always have the same skills on them.
Oh fuck.
Yep.
Shit. Well, I wish the fandom that we were talking about last week had that spelled out a little better. Because it's like Final Fantasy, you just get the thing that you missed on the dungeon in the next area.
It's like Skyrim, where something's enchanted or whatever. Like,
that's a good point. Yeah.
I'm actually quite interested to see what happens late game if you're able to go back and do the Kilika one.
Yeah.
Like you'll be able to eventually.
Yeah, I think I'll hold off on it just to see. And
we
also,
won't be able to for a good long time.
Yeah, and also just because I don't feel like going that far back in my save file now.
And I figure by the end of it anyway, I'm just going to borrow Alex's save at some point and be like, give me the fucking max leveled people, please.
Yeah, for sure.
Anyway, some of these docks also have like little hidden cubbies you can walk into and get items.
Yeah.
So I got like a magic sphere and an HP sphere from one, which is pretty cool because those are spheres that you can place in the sphere grid to create new nodes. So you put them in an empty node. One of them, the HP one, is like HP plus 300 or 400. And I gave that to Yuna because she's a white mage. She doesn't have very much HP.
Yeah.
So now she's my highest HP character.
Hell yeah.
So she has the most HP out of anybody.
Tank.
Having used that. Yeah, I'm going to tank with Yuna.
Yeah, there's also a title spear that you can get in one of the chests. I think there's like 2 Phoenix Downs and another one.
Yeah. So there's some cool little areas that you can get to in here and talk to people.
There's an Albed kind of walking around near also a chest with 600 gil.
Yeah.
And but I can't read anything.
He says, "Nothing beats the Blitz. I wish you luck."
Oh, that's sweet. Yeah, I can see Blitz.
Yeah.
Should we continue? Maybe.
Yeah, I would say let's continue on. So we leave the stadium.
Yep.
And we're like, because like we saw earlier that Yuna and Kimari is with her, by the way. Yuna and Kimari kind of ran past the Albeds, and so Titus is kind of catching up to them, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And she's out. It looks like she's being interviewed.
Oh yeah, as cameramen, the press is there.
Yeah, the press is there, and I think that they're talking to her. But when we walk up, she says to them, "I'm sorry, please let me through." Which makes me think that she wasn't being interviewed, but she's like literally in front of the camera.
Yeah, it seems like I got the kind of vibe that it's like a paparazzi, and she's not gonna go like full Bjork and just like kick the shit out of them.
Yeah.
Instead, she's just like, please let me pass. Like, I wanna sign all your autographs, but
yeah, right. Yeah.
Peace and love. I will not be signing autographs any longer.
Yep. And Titus is even like, oh, you're really famous.
Mm-hmm.
And Yuna says, I hope we don't get separated. And the crowd's kind of pushing in on them and everything. And then Titus whistles, right? He like puts his fingers in his mouth and whistles, which I've never been able to do.
I tried doing that recently and have not been able to do it. There's
right,
like definitely
everybody push your fucking mics away from your face.
I don't know how to do it.
Doing a thing that you should all do out in public in 2020 and put your fingers into your mouth.
That's a good point. This is we're all getting coronavirus right now.
I cannot. Anyway. It's like the calling a taxi whistle.
Yeah.
Yeah. The way you have to do this is like have your lips like covering your teeth in a certain way and stuff. I looked it up because I was like, I'm gonna learn how to fucking do this.
I was gonna say this.
It's been 30 goddamn years. I haven't been able to do
we
it.
should learn how to do this. Like this should be like our goal for the season.
15 puzzle last season. This season whistling.
Yeah, right.
I'll race y'all.
But
he whistles and she's like, "What the fuck was that?"
Yeah, what the fuck was that? Which is weird though. Like
it seemed like she's never seen someone do this.
I was gonna say, has nobody in fucking Spira ever done this?
It's an ancient art.
This is gonna blow the fucking mind of the girl in the power room when she realizes that she doesn't have to hum the chocobo speech.
Yeah.
She can just whistle it.
Or law it.
You can whistle? Whistle?
Whomst amongst us has whistled.
Yeah, it's something.
Titus just says, in Xanarkand, we do this to cheer on Blitz players. And then he whistles again. And like Yuna's like pretty shocked by it. And he says,
you try it too. Put your fingers in your mouth like this.
Like this?
Not like that. This.
And she's like, oh, like this? It's like an awkward anime interaction.
Yeah. And he's like talking with his fingers in his mouth. So he sounds all like, bro, no, not like this. Do it like this.
It's funny too because like the voice part of it plays before his fingers are actually in his mouth.
This is another like just really weird, just showing kind of how awkward they both are.
Yeah.
And again, I guess bringing it back to like Star Wars, where it's just like you have someone who kind of grew up outside of like normal society, so they kind of were just awkward and did not know how to actually flirt or interact with normal people.
Right,
yeah,
right.
yeah.
And I like that Yuna just says it's not working. It's broken.
Yeah, and Titus is just like practice.
Practice.
Yeah, and he says, "Hey,
Go practice.
Use that if we get separated, and then I'll come running."
I just, you know how like you only can know what you've been up to for the week, like unless you tell somebody else. Like all of us are only stuck in our own minds or whatever.
Yeah.
I've been watching a lot of the YouTube channel Two Set Violin, and go practice.
Hell yeah.
Go practice. Do you play an instrument? Go practice.
I'll try.
I'm a whistler.
You're gonna whistle.
I'm just gonna
go
be practicing
practice.
that hour,
Whistle.
that hour a day practice or whatever, or
Yeah.
the practice 100 days thing challenge.
Oh,
or whatever.
yeah, 100
I'm
days
gonna
of
do that,
practice.
but it's only gonna be whistling.
Yeah.
Last week you were whistling the Harlem Globetrotters theme.
Oh yeah.
I can't go high. Anyway, but and then Titus says, "Hey, use that if we get separated. I'll come running." Which I want to say something, but his next line is, "Well, I guess we should just stick together until you can do it."
Yeah.
All right. Good
Yeah.
coverage there, because that was a bad idea at first. And like she says, "Yes, sir." Very cute.
Yeah, that is cute. I do like some like little dialogue between two NPCs here talking about the Blitzballers.
Interesting.
It is
Go
very
ahead.
interesting. So the one of them says, "I'm keeping a close eye on the Albed Sykes this year," and the other one says, "Ew, why would you root for the Albed? You really do have bad taste," which not a little problematic. And then
Which actually, now that I think about it, okay, it makes sense that there's like cities, like there's the Besaid Aurochs, the Kilika Beasts, the Xanarkan Duggles, right? Like, as those sports teams might. But if you are not human, your team is the race that you are.
yeah. Or no, oh yeah, what the fuck?
The Albed Sykes.
Yeah.
Do they have a country? Or are they just kind of...
Oh, that'll be a whole thing. We'll get, But let's say like the Ronso.
The Ronso Fangs.
Like the Ronso live on Gagazet.
Yeah, which one of the...
Wouldn't it be the Gagazet Fangs?
Yeah, the Gagazet Fangs.
Or like, and there is a Guado team, we just don't hear about them really. Like, it would be like the, oh god, where the fuck are the Guado from?
Guantanamo.
Dark now. I like it. I can't remember the fucking name of their town, but we get there too. But no, it's the name of their race and then their...
Yeah, that's weird.
It's odd.
Yeah, like, and then what the fuck is our race?
What are we?
Besaid.
Yeah, so then the one goes on and says, "I like how they cover up their faces. It's just so sexy and mysterious." And then the other one
That's
says,
important. That's important to know for the pandemic.
Yeah.
Remember, when
yeah.
you go outside, cover your face. It's sexy and mysterious.
That's not just like weird racial fetishization. Fetishization.
Oh, okay.
I really stumbled over that. That's not just weird racial fetishization. It is good practice in 2020 to cover up your face.
Yeah.
And then the other one says, well, I would have to say it's the Ronzo Fangs for me. The Ronzo, they're just a bunch of meatheads. And she says, yeah, and that's why the other teams are all dead meat.
That's so good.
You can talk to the reporter, and there's like a cameraman holding like a very like steampunky kind of camera.
I love this man. He says, well, if it isn't the Aurochs comedian, thanks for the comic relief. Keep up those antics throughout the tournament. I'll be sure to capture you on the sphere.
Yeah.
Yo, my man.
Which is really good. And if you talk to the reporter, she's like going through a reporting spiel, like, "Oh, coming at you live from the stadium and stuff." And she's like, excuse me, I'm in the middle of a report here."
Yeah. And then north of here is a theater. So, without getting too much into the theater,
I didn't go there.
I don't think I went there.
There's not really a lot to it, but basically, like throughout the game, as you hear more of the soundtrack and you see more cutscenes, you can spend gil to turn those into spheres that you can replay. So it's kind of like a jukebox and cutscene reviewer.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah. There's also a one of those little tutorial kiosks.
If you didn't like not being able to skip the cutscenes the first time around, then baby, do we have good news for you.
There's also like one of those little kiosks that we find in like the cabins sometimes, and this one will actually let you like test battles.
Oh,
so
that's
you can
pretty
like,
cool.
but you don't get anything from them. You don't get any experience. Or
Yeah,
anything
it's just
like
a
that.
way of like
Yeah,
testing out different battle mechanics.
Basically, somebody says like, "Hey, coming up in maybe one of the coming up areas, there's going to be these kind of enemies. If you want to practice on how to fight them, here you go."
Nice.
And they tell you, and it's like bombs and some larger creatures.
Kick-ass, yeah.
So yeah. So there's a couple of things that we can do there, but nothing really too crazy. Like I said, you don't get anything from it, and you can just view some of the stuff there. So
yeah.
Then is like, I guess the town square.
Yeah.
Is the next area you can get to. Mm-hmm. And so Titus walks into it and says, "Whoa, this is a pretty big town."
Yeah, and Eunice says, Luca is the second largest city in Spira.
What's the largest one for all my people who played already? I guess it would be Bavel.
Yeah, I was thinking it's probably Bavel.
But you only get to like see one screen worth of Bavel, so it always seems very weird to me.
I was just thinking like the Meister, the Maester or whatever.
Yeah, from
the
Bavel.
Meister.
Yeah.
He comes from Bavel, so I'm like, that makes sense that would be the largest.
You're probably right, yeah.
Zanarkand.
Yeah, right.
Titus said, I thought every town was little, like Besaid or Kilika.
Good lore alert.
Yeah, and Eunice says, towns usually don't get bigger than that because when a lot of people start to gather, and she like trails off and Titus is just like, Sin? What about Luca? It's safe here? And she says, it's not any different, but the stadium is here. The Crusaders fight to protect it with all their strength.
Except for this year, apparently.
Yeah. This year they got something out. Can't go, got a thing. And he's like, they protect the stadium. And Eunice says, Blitzball is really the only entertainment that we have. Spira's a little short on fun these days. it like changes camera angle, and Titus does the anime like face palm hit his head thing, and you just see Kimari in the background with his arms crossed. It just goes,
whoa. Talk about pressure.
Yeah, and she goes, that's right. She says, is Zanarkand like this too? And he says, well, there are more buildings, all tall ones and cramped together. And she's like, oh, they must be so tall. Don't you get dizzy? It's very cute.
Very quaint, yeah.
But then she says, let's go find Sir Oren, because we heard he was in a cafe. And there's a cafe attached to this area.
Yeah.
And we're walking around. There's a couple NPCs that we can talk to.
A little kid with a balloon, a red balloon.
Yeah, right. Somebody says, have you seen Maester Seymour? What do you think? He's an absolute dream, isn't he?
Oh, that lady has weird hair.
He's a fucking nightmare.
I'm like, that's one way to fucking put it, I guess.
I like that the weapon shop here is the official Blitzball merchandise kiosk.
Here's a sword.
Yep. The Pain from Metal Gear Solid here. Walking around.
Yeah, there's just an NPC wearing that exact outfit.
Like perfectly the same.
Kind of looks like the same model as like the Wedge guy, but like just wearing a different outfit.
Now, you know what I've never done? I've never passed the bar and then tried to leave Luca before.
You didn't do that this time? Or?
I did.
Yeah, there's something up there.
Yeah.
You can go to the Luca what's it called? Town outskirts, I think.
There's 1,000 gil.
Yeah, there's a chest that has 1,000 gil in it, which is pretty nice. I was like, cool. Like that helps me pay back what I fucking bought off of Owaka.
I was gonna say, if you give all of your money to Owaka again, like I did, there's 2 chests in the town. One that gives you 600 gil, one that gives you 1,000. That's enough to buy the Thunder Sphere for Kimari when we run back by there.
Hell yeah. But we see some familiar friends.
Luzu and Gata, my boys. Yep. I'd never seen the scene before. I've always gone right into the cafe.
Yeah, so they're standing, like you just kind of go up a bunch of like staircases, and then there's like a staircase leading up in the town outskirts, I guess, like to like the jungle or whatever, and Gata and Luzu are standing there, and Gata just says,
what you doing here? The tournament's about to start.
I'm looking for someone.
Well, you're looking in the wrong place. There aren't many people here.
Everyone's either at the stadium or watching the game on the Sphere.
They love their Blitzball.
Folks love their baseball sports. And Titus is like, aren't you guys going to watch? And Luzu says, we'd like to, but we're waiting for some couriers.
Couriers?
I wonder if
I wonder if they're transporting the thing that was in the boat.
Yeah. I imagine it's something to do with that whole, like, mission or whatever.
Yeah.
Doing a King Kong type thing.
King Kong.
Yeah, and
oh yeah, because they kept him in the cage. Sorry.
Yeah, and Luzu's like, well, they're late. Want to ditch the courier and go watch the game? And Gata's like, absolutely not. He's like, but we're still on duty. What about the mission, sir? And like Luzu just like,
he looks at us and goes, you see what I mean?
Yeah, he puts his arms on his hips and he's just like, see what I mean? Like, no getting out of this.
Yeah.
He's like, we might be a little late, but we're going to watch you play.
You better be winning when we get there.
Yeah,
which is real nice. Like, I like that he's cheering us on.
Good guy,
I like
Luzu.
the way that he cheers us
Luzu.
on. Yeah,
he's all right, dude. He's cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm ready to go to the cafe.
Yeah, let's go to the cafe.
And as soon as we walk in, Titus just says, Aaron's not here. Nice.
Yeah.
But it looks like the big game's about to start. People are all watching the fucking screen. And then
Kamari walks up and there's 2 other Ronzo there. And one of them says...
Before we start, can I point out that Kamari is much, much taller than all of our party
everyone
members.
in our party. I think we talked about that a little bit about how big and intimidating he is.
He towers over them.
Even Waka, who we've also talked about how
as being a beefy boy.
Yeah.
And these 2 Ronzo
are huge.
Tower over Kamari.
Yeah, and they have like horns that are like completely like a unicorn kind of.
Yeah, they're not broken like Kamari's.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, and one of them says,
"Why not talk, Kimari? Not see Yankee for 10 years. Say something."
And then Yankee says, "Kamari, forget Yankee, forget Biran."
Biran, yeah, I would give like Brian.
Is this voice acted? I can't remember.
Yes, it is.
Yeah,
okay.
They all sound pretty similar.
We might. Should we just drop in the voices here?
Yeah,
I'm like, I will mispronounce this. I will fuck it up.
Leave Kimari, Yankee. Kimari is small, Ronso. Kimari's so small, can't see Yankee and Biran's faces.
They're just fucking trashing on him for being short. Yeah, he's the tallest party member we have.
They're doing like the gonna cry and piss your pants thing, but actually to Kamari. Like everyone in this game is just constantly getting bullied.
Kamari forgot Ronso friends. We taught you so much at time of Hornmolt. I keep saying Brian.
Brian.
Biran taught Kamari to be strong, Ronso. Maybe taught too much.
And like he's gonna put his like hand on Kamari's shoulder, and Kamari just bats it away.
Yeah.
Right. And then Titus just says
he's kind of like behind him, like trying to like sneak a little word and like, "Yo, take him on."
Yeah, he's just take him on.
I like too how the one Ronso is like grabs his wrist and kind of like it looks like he actually got hurt by Kamari smacking it away.
Yeah. And then after Titus says take him on, he just punches one of them out.
Yo, he fucking squares up
out.
and uppercuts him. It's awesome.
Who is that? Is that Biran or Yankee?
Sure.
Here we go. Time to get out the wiki.
I think it's Yankee. He knocks out Yankee because Biran is talking to him and he says,
"Oh, okay."
Every time I say Yankee, I'm thinking of Genki from Saints Row. Genki.
Oh yeah, the fucking cat. Yeah,
the cat king.
And then, like after he punches him, the bartender says, "Take it outside. The tournament's starting."
Yeah. I love how they're not even like, oh no, like they don't even sound like pissed or anything. They're just like, all right, just go outside.
Yeah,
like, I don't care if you're fighting, just fight outside.
Yeah.
Keep it down, you two.
But the tournament really is starting, and Titus is like, "The game!" And we hear over the screen, we hear Mika on the television saying,
"Today, on this glorious day, players from all over Spira have assembled here to participate in this great contest of bravery, skill, and strength."
And then we actually like the camera changes to actually.
Yeah, it's not watching a TV.
We're not watching
anymore.
a TV of him. Yeah, we actually see him.
Time.
And he's just saying more fucking like.
Well, except he says that all the teams are equally renowned.
Yeah,
which for different reasons.
But
he didn't say that, but that's probably what he means.
It's a nice way of putting it.
Yeah. He says that they all deserve to win the cup today, and it's funny because like there's a representative from each team out here, and there's 6 teams. It looks like.
God, yeah, and the fucking the Ronso is so fucking big.
He's so big, but I like that like down at the end is fucking Waka, and I'm just like. Waka, my boy, always looking out of place. I mean, he actually like he's standing like correctly. You know what I mean? He doesn't like he's in his element here, but at the same time, it's Waka. He's goofy.
Yeah, definitely more goofy than this giant Ronso.
Yeah, he's like the team that's never won, just standing there.
But we see an Albed, we see Bixen, we see Ronso, and is there another Guado here?
There's a Guado behind the Ronso.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
and, but yeah. So he's Mike is still talking. And
so it is 6 teams.
It is.
There's the answer.
Yeah. Hey, Mike is like, let's, sing the glory of the winner, applaud equally the valor of the defeated. May Yevon be with you. And then we get a cool cutscene of the Blitzball Stadium ball getting filled.
I love this. This is so nice to see.
I know.
It seems like that would take fucking forever.
Yeah.
Dude, oh my goodness.
I'm like, I want to take a dip.
Sloshed.
You gotta hold your breath for a long time. Dude, I don't think I could like jump into one end of the Blitzball and swim to the other end of it without drowning.
Yeah, absolutely. This thing is huge.
So watching all this happen, I'm like, is this all count as Machina or not?
I don't think so.
Because we're watching things on the television.
Are you saying, Alex, that the people of Spira might be picking and choosing what Machina are okay and not okay to use, and don't actually think about it that much, and that if Machina really would attract Sin to towns, then wouldn't he be attracted here immediately? So maybe that's not really the case.
Curtis,
they probably won't go over that in extensive detail.
Curtis, here's the thing: the Crusaders give everything they got to protecting this, so of course Sin's not going to be around.
Yeah,
I have this rock here that keeps elephants away. Yeah. Do you see any elephants around?
No more bears.
Anyway.
Yeah, Curtis.
But yes,
I would like to buy your Crusaders.
Yeah. It's so good. Was it? It was a tiger rock.
I think it was a tiger.
Tigers,
Yeah. I was conflating it with the episode with Stampy, the elephant.
Yeah.
I wish I had an elephant. You did. His name was Stampy. You loved
him. Yeah.
Oh yeah. But we get a cool aerial shot of the stadium and how all
people
the six
are
docks
releasing
are.
balloons and shit.
Yeah, so
Fucking
the balloon we get to see again, the one that the little kid was holding.
Yeah.
Now it makes sense in world.
They had to give an in-universe explanation for why they're.
Hold on, there's balloons in this world.
Yeah,
it's a balloon machina.
This is like the whole debate of our book's technology. I'm like, well, at some point they were considered technology.
Well, I can tell you this for certain.
It has a hinge.
My phone absolutely does cause sin.
People have been writing books for thousands of years. Oh wait, never mind. I fucked up. I fucked up that Ali G quote. We can move past it.
There better not be Machina in there. Don't come in, Mom.
But yeah, we get a quick little CG, a quick little in-game scene of all of the Albed team and the Aurochs
so
squaring
Titus
up and getting ready to play.
Titus did it. He officially missed the first game like a fucking dullard.
Yep. Because he was fucking bored in the locker room 5 minutes before the game started.
I know. He's like, yeah, I'll be right back. And literally missed the first game.
I'm going to go see what's up with my friend who came here, maybe.
Maybe. Yeah.
He's their star player, and he just completely bailed to go hang out with his uncle.
What a good guy. What a trustworthy guy Titus is.
Yeah, so they show, the game starting and everything. And
it's cool as shit, though.
Yeah.
I will say again that, Waka is a goofy goof man. He's a silly boy. But, in his element playing a blitzball game, I was like,
yeah,
Waka my man.
Hell yeah.
He looks so fucking cool.
Yeah.
He's ready for this game.
Hell yeah. But then we're back in the cafe, and Kamari is still squaring up with the other Ronzo.
Yeah.
And
I think he gets punched by Biran.
Oh, so what happens is he's squaring up to Biran, and Titus says, Kamari, Yuna's gone. He's looking around and sees Yuna isn't there. And Kamari turns and looks. And as soon as he looks away, Viran just fucking slugs him right in the face. Just boom. Doesn't knock him down, though. He just fucking gives him a good one. And this is what I fucking love about Kamari, is that Kamari's just been slugged in the face.
He's been made fun of by two people that he knew. He was getting ready to fight both of them. He got punched in the face, and he's like, fuck this.
And he kind of looks back at Biran, but then looks back and sees that Yuna isn't there, and is just like,
I'm out.
I have no time to deal with this fight right now. I'm just leaving. He doesn't say a word to Biran and just runs out looking for Yuna.
Yeah.
Oh, what a dude. Kamari don't talk, but he's a good dude.
He's the best one so far. I feel like, he rules.
Some blue lives do matter.
So Kamari...
Just one.
Sonic. So Kamari runs out, and then Lulu kind of stops him, and she says,
"Where in Spira have you been?"
Huh? And Lulu says, Yuna's been kidnapped by the Albed Sykes.
Yeah.
In exchange for her safe return, they want the Aurochs to lose. And Titus is like, what? And Lulu says, if they're only blitzball players, I doubt they'd do anything drastic, but we shouldn't take any chances. Let's go get her. And Titus says, I'm going too.
She says, let's go. And he goes, I'm going to.
Yeah.
That's let's.
Yeah, that's what let's means. And he says, this will be no problem. And he said, they're telling the Aurochs to throw the game as if they needed to?
Titus, what the fuck?
I mean, to be fair,
he's not there.
It's pretty extreme to be this team that literally, I guess they're we can't lose to the team that has historically only lost.
Yeah,
we need to make a fucking extra sure.
Right, He also says, how good a team can they be? I also just realized that he's never practiced with them, even though he's a member of their team.
Yeah.
Although when we're on the we
he
see
did
them
practice. He did practice in the tutorial.
Yeah,
we've seen them hang out and practice a little bit in the background, but Titus is
never in a blitzball rink.
And after he says that, Lulu says Waka said the same thing. So I'm like, So they were able to kidnap Yuna, take her to another location, make the demands, relay them to Waka and Lulu, who are in
As
the fucking...
game, like, yeah, the timeline here is really fucking strange.
How long were we in that bar?
Because literally, like, we were in the bar, we saw Yuna walk up to a table,
Yeah.
and then we started, like, watching Kamari about to get into a fight, and then we looked at the screen, and Waka was already playing, and then Yuna was suddenly gone.
And in that amount of time, all of these different events transpired.
The Albed don't miss, baby.
They just like left a little note.
Yeah,
on the
I kind of just assumed that like as soon as Yuna left to like go to the cafe and stuff, in that time those Albed that were standing outside that like we tried talking to, probably just went right into the locker room and was like, "Yo, we just kidnapped your lady summoner. If you lose the game, no harm will come to her."
I bet the pain was in on it.
And like, yeah, like it was probably like right as like Waka was walking out of the dressing room. Probably they're like, "Yo, like even though it didn't happen yet, that's enough
they
to
knew
be like."
It was gonna be.
So then,
that's true. That's true.
That's my read of the situation. That's me putting way too much into into this.
I think I think like later on there are things that'll happen that kind of indicate that Lulu has been talking to Waka.
Yeah, correct.
But they're at Dock 4.
Yeah, so we got to go to Dock 4, which when we reach the docks, we can go in two different directions. To
Before
the left,
we reach the docks,
yeah,
I want to talk about one NPC dialogue.
Is it the beaky guy? The one with the beak?
Oh no, I think I know who
No.
you mean. It's the wedge. The wedge.
Oh
no.
Oh.
Okay, then go
You
ahead.
do yourself.
Well, during the area where we passed through that we got hit by the press, there's a little short guy with a beak and a hat.
Yeah.
Who's like originally trying to buy tickets off of us, but on our way back, he says, "Chish, or Tisk or whatever. Everyone went to go see the opening ceremony. Hey, Ana Blitzer, what are you doing walking around?" And
and
you talk to him again.
Antia Blitzer, yeah.
Yeah, and then you talk to him again. It's like, what happened to the young lady you were with? Huh? Dumped you, eh? Don't let it get you down.
That's awesome.
Plenty of fish in the sea, brother.
So I don't know this for a fact. There could be multiple characters who look like that throughout the course of the game.
Yeah.
I think that is a character who actually doesn't get a name until the fucking sequel.
Oh, wow.
Like, I think that is one guy.
So I think, and he was also in the hallway leading to the dressing room, and just like very different looking from everyone else.
Very short. He
looks kind of like a black mage, but not wearing the
has like a
standard
duck
black.
bill.
He's like this the stature of a black.
There was also one in the cafe.
Yeah.
At the bar.
Oh, maybe there are multiple ones then.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is very like Star Warsy. So there's like different races.
There's a guy sitting on a bench who notices you're looking for someone, or you tell him that you're looking for someone, and he says, even if she did pass by, I wouldn't have noticed a huge crowd and all. But I did hear somebody whistling though, and I'm like, did she get it down already?
Yo, damn!
Like second try.
I read all of that except for the whistling part. Like I just didn't hit A again, I guess, because he said a lady summoner. Sorry, I haven't seen her. Like big crowd and all of that. But before that, there's another interesting thing of dialogue that might come up again, where you can talk to the guy who looks like Wedge again, and he says, "Is it true that the ferry is out of service? I hear that Sin may still be lurking in the sea nearby. At this rate, who knows when we'll make it back to Kilika." Yeah, and then the other NPC that he's with says, "The Crusaders are blustering on about destroying Sin, but I doubt they will."
Did you guys go into the actual Blitz Stadium?
I did, but I don't think I really...
I like that somebody says you can record the game on a sphere, but no flash photography. And I was like,
what?
Do they work the same?
Yeah, what?
Yeah, okay. One guy's just walking around and he says, I don't need to watch this game. I know the Oryx are going to lose. But, Carl,
that guy, yeah. I was going to say, like, that guy's going to be like, oh, God, why didn't I watch the game? So there is an NPC in the stadium where he says, the stadium is surrounded by numerous ports laid out in a circular fashion, so it's impossible to get lost. Turn here to get to dock number 5. And like I was saying earlier, I kind of went around the whole docks and like ran around, and everyone was like, go that way to go to 3, go this way to go to 1. And it's just like a clockwise, motion. So I was like, oh, if you look at the mini map, you see the red triangle to show where you should be going.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay. It wants me to go all around for some reason. I was like, fuck that. I know this layout. I'm just going to go right and get right from like 5 to 4. And I go a screen over to try and get to 4. And there's just a shit ton of cargo.
There's
completely
so much
blocking
cargo.
it. And
the guy, what he says is so funny.
It's really good. Yeah, you talk to him and he says, I turned away for a second and look what happened.
Dude, there is so much fucking cargo. That must have taken hours to move. He's like, I just turned away, and when I looked back, there was hundreds of parcels of cargo, large boxes, like shipping crates, just like completely put up. I didn't notice.
Saw all that merch.
There was an NPC earlier as well, who I don't know if it was like at this part of the pier, like on these docks, or if it's just like a coincidence. They weren't speaking Al Bhed, so I don't think they were in Al Bhed, but they said, like, get out of my way, I'm sorting cargo.
Yeah.
And there was like a bunch of cargo around, so I think it was just like, I don't know if that has anything to do with it or anything.
I think this guard's just very bad at his job.
Yeah, for sure.
Because they didn't get the Crusaders this year. They just got citizens, remember?
Here's the thing. If I was on the job and some shit like that happened and I fucking missed it, I would be like, I don't know what happened. I turned away for 1 second and then suddenly, like, this dude was definitely like checking out the game and then came back and was like, oh shit, I'm in trouble.
Yeah. I think, you know what? I feel like I might even like, if that was me doing that job, I feel like the way to get out of it would be...
all these Uber Eats orders that are just waiting.
Yeah. I think the way I would get out of it is be like, oh yeah, I mean, they said they had authentication from this manager or whatever. Like, yeah,
they said Meister Mika was going to be mad at me if they didn't let them do that.
Yeah, do you want to go talk to Meister Mika about it?
Yeah, you go talk to him.
Yeah, I would just accept that, like, oh yeah, I totally told him to put it there.
Yeah.
But yeah, so basically we can't get to Dock 5 by going right to it.
Take the long way.
The long way.
Which is like 5 screens.
I know, which I'm sure is going to be uneventful.
Yeah.
Easy going.
Nice little breezy walk on the boardwalk.
Yeah, but we'll find out about that next time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to cut it short this time, but we got a very exciting episode next time.
Oh boy, we have an episode next time. That's for darn sure. We're going to we'll go find Yuna. I'm not going to say what happens because I don't want to spoiler it.
Yeah.
We get her back.
Odds are, if you're playing along and listening to this episode, you already got past this part anyway.
Yeah. You said it last week.
Yeah.
Good news, we won. Coming at you next week, we win.
Wait, if you leave now, you'll never know how World War II ended. We won! And we'll play some fucking Blitzball, baby.
Hell yeah.
Those good balls.
So here's my, not advice, but the thing I'm going to say to everybody playing with us, if you're playing along with us, it doesn't matter if you win the Blitzball game. You get like one extra thing that you can just get more of later.
Yeah.
I guess you get one early. That's nice or whatever. You do get a cool little scene. Like there's a small singular scene and maybe like a small bit of dialogue that's different as we progress through the game or whatever. Unless you truly care about Waka and the others, then you have to win.
Yeah.
Do it for them.
Do it for them.
Do it for Waka.
Do it for Waka.
Save before the big game.
Yeah, right.
Saves come.
Dude,
hack your save file.
Look, I highly suggest just going online and reading a guide about how to win the first game because it's what I get from it or what I'm reading from it is that you're not meant to win it.
Okay.
But I think you can win it if you just abuse the system like crazy.
I think that does make sense. Just knowing like what little I know about the speedrun of Final Fantasy X, because I feel like that's not a surefire thing that like every time someone's speedrunning that they'll win the game.
Right.
I don't know if that has anything to do with like, oh, it's faster to just forfeit or whatever, or if it's like, oh, you just try and win or whatever. I don't know enough about the Final Fantasy X speedrun to say that, but I'm pretty sure like, in my understanding of what I've seen some people do, like they're like, oh, I'm not guaranteed to win this.
Yeah, right. Yeah, even if you do everything correctly.
Like I don't know how much RNG comes up, but we'll find out more about
a lot.
That. Yeah.
A lot. Which is another thing about like, and we'll get into this when we talk about Blitzball more, but like some of my issues with Blitzball come from just the RNG aspect of it.
Sure.
Of like, oh, I have this much shot and this guy has this much defend. This will clearly go in.
Yeah.
And then it's just like, oh, just kidding, it didn't. Fuck you.
Yeah.
And you're like, but that's
I'm doing the thing right.
Yeah. And then like
it's
good
like when
numbers will be on your side for something. You'll be like, oh, Bixen's passing, but he only has like 3 pass and I have like 10 grab. And like you'll just fumble the ball and you're like, My number is so good for that, though.
It's like in Final Fantasy VIII when you have like triple triad completely down and you're like, hell yeah, I can win every fucking match. And you don't realize that you're in a different region with different rules.
God,
and then they put down a card and they have like the weird rule where it's like the numbers are the same on each side. Then like, they win. And it just like, it turns all of your cards into their cards. And you're like, what the fuck happened?
Wait, you don't realize that same or plus are in effect. And you're like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Or like Tetramaster from 9, where like your cards have HP, and you'll have like a monster with 5 versus like Arc with 150, and the one with 5 wins, and you're like, how is that possible?
Who allowed this?
Who allowed this?
Curtis and Curl are talking about things I have no idea about.
And so you'll have plenty of time to get frustrated as this series goes on.
There'll be plenty more times for us to talk about Final Fantasy VIII with no like.
Dude,
context.
you know what? I insist when we do 8 that we just take all the rules from all the places and just try them.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
I thought you were gonna say we talk about every single other Final Fantasy in every episode because it's only fair.
But yeah, so that's all I got for you today. I'll go ahead and give a little. I'll say it again next time. Owaka's on the first screen. By that lance, it's gonna make everything a little bit faster.
Yeah, for sure.
It's not like hard. Like the things coming up are not difficult.
Yeah, no,
but
it's fun though.
Yeah, it'll give you a little bit more of like a speed advantage. You'll be
less
able to,
grindy. Yeah.
Yeah, right. You guys got anything?
Nope.
No.
GDQ is going on right now. By the time you hear this, there'll be 2 more days of it left.
Hell yeah.
I'm thoroughly enjoying that.
It's been great.
I meant to go to bed at 6 a.m. yesterday and stayed up till like 10 watching what I call the cute block, or what everybody in chat was calling the ayaya block.
Hell
of
yeah.
the series.
Nice.
So that's been really good.
Shout out to my friend Birdo, who opened up the entire event with a kick-ass run of Demon Souls.
Hell yeah.
With Ashwin on commentary. And
yeah.
If you missed that, I highly recommend going back and watching the VOD. It's probably on YouTube by now, but it's so good. They were amazing.
I think I was sleeping during it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it was the start of the event, and I know you work night shifts.
Cool.
So I feel like there's one more thing. Oh, Zaku EP streaming now.
Hell
so
yeah.
you don't just have to go to Bandcamp if you want to listen to the EP my band put out. This will be the last time I plug it. I'm sorry.
No, please, it's so fucking good. Please do.
But yeah, you can get it on Spotify, iTunes, all that stuff. Pretty much anywhere you can stream or buy music, you can now get the Zaku EP. So thank you guys so much for purchasing it. We did really fucking well. Got to the front page of Bandcamp. Sold a bunch of them, downloaded a bunch of them. It's still free on Bandcamp as well if you want to get it there. But yeah, I really appreciate everybody sharing that and listening to it.
Hell yeah.
Congrats.
Thank you.
Nice. All right. I'm going to see how quick I can read this.
Wait. Let me turn the snare on.
Oh, let me get the vibra slap.
Don't drum it. I hate that.
That definitely made it go quicker.
Leave us your Blitzball strategies at 530 Materia. Thanks to Night of the Round for a theme song. Featured music is by Nobuo Uematsu, Masahaji Hamauzu, Junya Nakano. Leave us a review on iTunes. We are every FNFF on Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch. You can find our Discord link in the Twitter description. We have a new shirt on TeePublic by Miko.
Yes.
Don't talk to me until I've had my materia, and it's a lovely design of Yuffie.
Words to live by.
Hell yeah.
Yuffie just snacking on a big bowl of materia.
All materia.
I think after like months of me saying, "Oh, I really need to pick up a shirt," I'm finally going to, and I'm gonna get that one.
I bought it on a coffee mug.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah. So because I was like,
that's a really good coffee mug.
I was like, I always like have like some water or something or a drink with me when I do like streaming or something like that. So I'll get like a little Miko coffee mug.
Hell yeah, I'm gonna do the same.
Yeah.
Every FNFF is filmed in front of a live studio audience.
We're not doing that again. We've already had that outro. Yeah, go give Miko a follow.
Hell yeah.
We'll see you at the big game.
Are you ready for some Blitzball?
No.